Now, we already know what happened. If you click on this video, you kind of probably, if you don't live under a rock, know what happened. Trump was giving a speech at a rally in Pennsylvania, and there was an assassination attempt. It was so close that his ear literally got, like, it was meant to be for a headshot, right? From far away with a rifle. It hit his ear, and his ear started bleeding. That's how close it was. Now imagine if it was an inch closer. An inch closer to his head. What could have happened? What do you think could have happened? Imagine if Trump was assassinated. A civil war, possibly, where there's a complete, like, revolution, a war between both sides of political parties in the United States. What if another puppet president was elected, like the one that's already in place right now? A puppet president who isn't actually doing what he thinks he should, and is only in place because people above him want him to perform the actions. I'm not gonna go deeper, but you can kind of already understand what I'm saying here. World War III, the end of your country, nuclear war, the end of humanity, all these things could have happened. This puppet president would continue to take orders from the people above him, continue to ruin our world, continue to cause wars, and these wars would further deteriorate into bigger and bigger countries entering the battle, entering the field, causing World War to happen. World War III to happen, and of course, World War III won't be fought with the same weapons, it won't be fought with the same people, it won't be fought with the same principles as the First World War and as the Second World War, and this would lead to a horrible, horrific, almost end of humanity. World War I and World War II were fought with guns and tanks. They were fought with guns and tanks and infantry and soldiers, foot soldiers. World War III would not be fought with the same guns and rifles and tanks that were fought with in World War I. Or the same tactics or the same principles. It's quite obvious that they won't use muskets like they did in World War I anymore. So what would they use? World War III will be fought with nukes and robots. Robotic soldiers. Drones. All of the sorts. And once that's done, World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Now there will be a lesson and a very important question at the end of this video. So I want to see if you can stay by the end for it. Or if you need more TikTok dopamine. Let's find out. Oh, it was staged, bro. The fucking assassination was staged. People died, you donkey! Number one, I just want to break this belief because I've seen this belief everywhere. Not really everywhere, but I've seen it in some places on the internet where people believe it was staged. And especially, we'll talk about CNN in a second, but a lot of people believe that it was staged. It was not staged because people died. And look, some people may believe it was an inside job. I'm not going to get too deep with that right now. But first of all, what you need to understand is that this was not staged, and this was an actual attempted assassination and murder of Donald Trump. And now I'm going to make a very interesting point. A point that you should really look into. Remember how we were all sold this lie by people, by the elites, by people above the president basically, who, you know, puppet the president. Remember how we were all sold this lie, this agenda of it's okay to be weak and effeminate, and it's okay to, you know, enter your feelings and enter an emotional state, and it's okay for men to be emotional and to cry and to be weak and to be effeminate. And the same people who killed masculinity were those people, you know, giving this message. Remember how we were sold this lie? It's okay to be weak and effeminate as a man. Take a look at the shooter. What characteristics does he emanate? Anything out of masculinity? Now, let's just go on another tab right now because I want you to enter this experiment with me. Search up school shooter. Literally just search that up and search that and look at Google Images. You know, you're gonna see the funniest shit because it's exactly what I've been saying, and not just me. It's exactly what people on our side have been saying for so long. The weak and effeminate men turn into the dangerous ones. It is not masculinity that's dangerous, you donkey. It's not masculinity that's dangerous, because when masculinity is waged war against, you get these effeminate men who kill and who rape and who murder and who destroy lives. It is not honorable, traditional, masculine men. It's not those men who ever cause these problems. It's these men who are effeminate and who are emotional and who are weak who cause the problems and the crime and the issues of the world currently. The crimes of the world are caused by these men, basically. It's never caused by traditionally masculine men with traditional traits. But we all already know this, right? It's so interesting that we knew about this lie and we keep seeing it being propagated in front of us. The weak and effeminate men are the ones causing the crimes and the shootings. Yet some people still seem to believe in this message of the left. I don't want to classify it as like left and right and us versus them, but it really is. It really is. People on the right versus people on the left usually have opposing beliefs in terms of how we should act, in terms of how men should act. Men should act traditional, masculine, and take care of the family. Men can be weak and feminine, and then who ends up being the fucking shooters? These guys. It's so ironic and antagonistic to the beliefs that they say, oh, it's okay, everybody can be free. Why am I even making this video? Why am I talking about the West and the United States? You might have this question, why do I even care? Well, the first reason is I actually loved America, and seeing it disintegrate and amalgamate and deteriorate into this mess, into this fucking destroyed country, into this destroyed nation that it kind of is going into. It makes me sad because I grew up on like American movies and American books, and I grew up on westernized things, but it wasn't the corrupted fucking every Netflix show that tries to shove its agenda down its throat. Creativity dies when agendas are attempted to be pushed. When an artist goes to like some company and asks for, yeah, can I be on your platform? I want to show people my art. Yeah, you can be on our platform. Just make sure to include at least 7 races and include 1 transgender in every single episode and include this message that men should be weak, and don't include any masculine characters because we want to defeat the whole purpose of... Do you understand what I'm saying here? Creativity dies when agendas are being pushed. And when I see agendas being so clearly and obviously pushed by the people who puppet the president, the current one, there was an assassination attempt on Trump because this would be an easy position for there to be a puppet president. Because clearly, nobody's gonna vote for Biden. Okay, Biden's cooked. Biden doesn't stand a chance. And the people on top of the president, the elites, realize this. And now they're like, oh fuck. Well, we kind of need someone to puppet now. And it's obviously not gonna be Biden because nobody's gonna vote for Biden anymore. And Trump, well, we probably can't puppet Trump because he has his own beliefs, whatever. I'm not gonna get too deep into that. Let's try and kill him. Let's try and kill him and let's replace him. And the plan failed. Or did it? And the second reason I care and I speak about the West and America is because the West affects the world, no matter what country you live in. Whether you're in the depths of the Middle East, or you're in South Africa, or you're in the Philippines, or you're in Argentina, or the Maldives. No matter where you live in the world, the West affects you. The West basically has a hold on the economy of the world and the things that happen. So no matter where you live currently, especially America, it's basically the global superpower. And it's quickly deteriorating, but as of currently, it still is. So it affects the world and it affects everybody. Whenever there's a huge change in the West, like the presidential change or some kind of huge economical change, whatever it is, there's always a ripple effect that goes to other countries. So the West affects the world no matter where you live. And the third reason is, if this isn't obvious enough, I live in the West. I live in Canada right now, but down the line I probably might move to the US. Now, when I mentioned the complete deterioration of the West, I'm sure this is as obvious to you as it is to me, but there's like, you kind of understand how much professionalism has deteriorated from the old times. Take a look at a clip of an old presidential debate versus the one that recently happened.
I think Mr. Nixon is an effective leader of his party. The question before us is, which point of view and which party do we want to lead the United States?
Our disagreement is not about the goals for America, but only about the means to reach those goals.
Do you notice how in the older debate, they were so professional, they were so, charismatic and able to speak with each other with respect and a civil discussion and a civil debate? And now it's like, oh, I'm better than you at golf. No, I'm better than you at golf. No, I don't know what he said. He probably can't even stand on his 2 legs. And one guy is in the moon. He can't notice anything. And the other guy is being slightly sarcastic and insulting, rightfully so, because whatever it is, right? Even if it's rightfully so, you're a fucking you're a possible president. You need to have some kind of honor and respect to your opponent, even if he's a dump. Even if he's a dump. And in the old times, this never would have happened. So you can clearly see the deterioration of the West. And this gets even deeper. This genuinely gets even deeper. News outlets that covered what happened, like CNN. CNN is the big one, right? It's an absolute fucking disgrace, and there's been jokes happening about it all over the internet. Trump falls at rally, and Secret Service agents pick him up. I forgot what the headline was, but they used the word falls. He didn't fall, he got shot at and he ducked. And they know this, but they try and cover it up with some bullshit. They try and cover it up with some bullshit to twist the message and sway it to the agenda that they are trying to push, which is extremely annoying because we know, and it is so obvious to us, how deteriorative this is for the quality of human existence. This stupid agenda that's being propagated from the... I don't want to fucking insult, okay, because I'm gonna vanish, like, I'm gonna disappear. But this stupid agenda that's being, propagated by the people up top is affecting us every single day. And it's affecting the information and the misinformation that we are being shown. Trump falls at rally. No, he didn't fucking fall. He got shot and he ducked. CNN, right? CNN. Who owns CNN? Who owns CNN? Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers Discovery owns CNN, which are the people that give us the message. They are the people, they are the company that spread the news and spread the agendas. Listen carefully. They spread the agendas, right? And they're owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. Who's the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery? Look into him. He's the CEO, right? Just look into him. Do a background check on him. And then you'll find out that Warner Brothers Discovery is owned by Advanced Publications. Advanced Publications, right? Who owns them? You'll find that they're owned and associated with a family. Now look into that family. Who does it consist of? Who are the members? Who are these people? Where do they come from? What are their beliefs? Do they have something in common? Try to find things in common between these people. Between the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery and the family members of the owner of Advanced Publication. Go down that rabbit hole and see what you'll find. I can't tell you what you'll find on this channel because it would no longer exist, but see if you can make that connection yourself. First, they try and cancel you, then they try and jail you, and then they try and kill you. This has happened with multiple people. This has happened with Tate, with Trump. It's so interesting, right? It's so interesting because it happens with people. All of the people this has happened with, if you look at the consistencies, it's always happened with people who are completely at the opposite end of the political spectrum of the left. When you think of these people, right, and I'm not like dick sucking any people, I'm trying to give you a viewpoint where you can think critically for yourself. Even though I support one side more than the other, obviously, you still need to have critical thinking abilities. I'm just showing, like, I'm telling you to search and find things so you have critical thinking abilities and make your own conclusions. I'm just giving you the facts, bro. It's people that are on the right, mostly right, like Trump, like Tate, like other people, other names, right? Who are on this side where they first try and cancel you. They got rid of Trump on all platforms. They got rid of Tate on all platforms. And then they try and jail you. They're having a case with Trump. They did jail Tate. And then they try and kill you. Very fucking interesting. It's so interesting. Now, look, I don't mean to be some internet political dickhead warrior saying, I am the right side, I am the right side, because I think there's two sides to this coin. We don't like the blue-haired feminist, the ultra, trans, whatever, right? We don't like these people, and there's also like this extremely fucking far-right, I'm not letting a man of color enter my country, in a fucking southern accent. There's completely opposite sides, and I don't mean to be a proponent for one side, even though I lean towards one side more than the other, obviously. And I don't mean to be some fucking internet warrior, keyboard warrior dickhead. I'm just here to spread a message, bro, because I've always been a beacon of truth. I've always been the sword of justice, the sword of truth when it comes to this shit. right? I've always just been someone who speaks my mind, and I encourage you to do the same. Because if you can't speak your own mind, then you are being programmed to think in someone else's. Do you truly want to live an existence like that? Where you can't think of your own, it's literally not your own life. When you have the beliefs of someone else and you can't think critically, you just act in those beliefs. But those beliefs are not yours. They're not yours. You're living someone else's life. Every single action we take, every single day of every single moment of every single day, all of these actions are governed by our beliefs. And if our beliefs are implanted into our minds by someone else, we are living a life we were never meant to. Imagine on your deathbed, the biggest regret, you can look this up, the biggest number one regret of all people on their deathbed dying is that they never lived a life that was authentic to them. They never lived life on their own terms. So even if you are a minority, I am currently a minority in my beliefs all around me. I'm in a very liberal country. Okay, I'm in Canada right now. It's the most liberal country in the world. I'm in the minority, but I still have my own set of beliefs and I stick to them. I don't believe that kids should fucking chop their balls off and undergo hormone therapy. And I don't believe that a child at 9 months should be executed because the woman couldn't keep her legs. I don't want to sound like that, right? You understand the point. I have beliefs that most people don't. And I think, and a lot of people think, that there is common sense and then there's retardation. There's common sense and there's retardation. Men should be weak. Men should not be weak. Where's the fucking common sense in men should be weak? Where? Tell me where. I don't think men... You understand, right? I follow fucking common sense and critical thinking. So sometimes I don't understand why there has to be sides when you clearly see that, you're losing, so let's try and assassinate them so we can put another puppet. I'm not trying to sound schizo, I'm just giving the truth, man. And this has long been said, bro. This world is deteriorating, and I just wish people could see and remove the fucking sheets, bro. The blinds out of their eyes. You're on TikTok too much. You're being fed machine propaganda. Code your mind, code it, program it. And I'm getting very fucking passionate about this because I just see donkeys. I see donkeys and NPCs just breathing the same air I and other fellow humans, not NPCs. They breathe the same fucking air as I do. And I don't want to sound like someone with a fucking superiority complex, man, but you understand the point. I just want critical thinkers and not donkeys. Not weak donkeys. I want the same people that caused this world to triumph. I want the same people that caused this world to grow and become a better place. I want the same people who invented, who took challenge, who competed, who made good memories, who didn't fuck up their mental health. I want the same people who adventured and grew lives and made inventions. I don't want donkeys who sit at home all day with their fucking rainbow hair scrolling on TikTok saying that men should be feminine and men should be weak and emotional, but I've done this too many times. So what are the lessons I'm trying to give you with this rant, with this video? The first one is I want you to stand for what you believe in and don't be weak about it. Be honorable and be considerate. I may sound like a disrespectful motherfucker right now to all people on other sides of the spectrum, the political spectrum, but I've had long civil discussions with the most liberal people in the world. All they were missing was one estrogen molecule and they'd be you understand the point, right? The most liberal, where any kind of belief, people should do whatever they want. People can be weak and feminine and emotional, and I don't think traditionalism is good at all. It's people who have those beliefs, and I've had long discussions with them, and I was respectful and I was professional about it, and I spoke with eloquence and zero disrespect. And I want this for you. We get a bad rep as people of tradition and conservatism, as people who don't think and just yell for some reason. People who aren't empathetic. No, that's not true. We are extremely empathetic and we understand people's emotions. That's why we save you from the mental health issues. No, we don't want you to chop your balls off because it's not fucking normal and you need to address the root, not the symptom. You get shot in the hand, you don't want to address the bullet hole without removing the bullet. You have to address the root of the issue first. So we are emotional, but not in the emotional way where we do whatever we want. We are not emotional, but we understand the emotions of others. Now, the second lesson that I want you to understand is I want you to be important. And not just important with wealth. They usually go hand in hand. Why important and rich, you might ask? Because otherwise you're practically useless in terms of your opinion. Your opinion does not matter unless you have a following or unless you have wealth to make change with that. To make change, because if you have an opinion and you have a belief, you can use your money to spread that message. Or maybe not even to spread that message, but to create a product that would spread that message. And if you have a following, well, you can use them to spread your message. So what can you do, man? Well, be important, get rich. And the time for doing this is now. The time for doing this is now. You know why? Because the world is just going to keep on getting more and more fucked until it gets better. Until it gets better, because I do have hope and I do see the tide changing, but it is not changing soon. Not as soon as you think. It will change, but not as soon as you think. The world is going to get worse, and mark my words, it will get worse before it gets better. Okay, so try your best to do whatever you need to do to get rich or to get, a form of influence. Do something with your life, man. Get off the apps. Get off the apps. Start a channel like mine. Start building an audience. Start growing something. Start selling them something that can change their lives. Start doing something you can, start generating some form of wealth and, scaling it and multiplying it. Give people something that can change your lives and have people love and respect you, because that's when your opinion matters. If you want to learn how to do this, I don't want to make this video to plug it, right? If you want to learn how to do this, look into Project 10K. It's the first link in the description. It teaches you to grow and monetize an audience, and you get to 10K a month in 6 months. It's not that much, I understand, but it's a start, okay? If you want to get really rich, it's a start. You scale that income. 10K a month in 6 months, 10K a month is not that much, right? So if you want to look into that, look into it. First link in the description. That's how you grow an audience. I used it myself, and look where we are. So understand that your importance and your fame and your influence on people really, really matters, and so does your wealth. Now, there's something I've been meaning to ask you throughout this whole video. You see the title, bro? When I said they, who do you think I was referring to?